I'm sitting right here in front of my photo booth, and I've been pulling some things out of my death pile closet, getting them ready to list. So I spent some time today getting some drafts written up of these items, and I'm going to just go through them as quickly as I can, show you some of the new things that they're actually old things, and but newly revived, I should say. And yeah, I pulled them out of the death pile, and let's take a look at some of them. I'm going to turn the camera around here so I can show you the best I can. Okay. All right. So here's the first thing that this is the first thing I'm going to show you, and the last thing that I worked on a draft today, essentially because I needed to put some batteries in it, put it in the TV, and test it out. So it's a little arcade. It's called Plug and Play TV Games from Namco, and you plug it into your television, and it just has 5 games built into it. So it has Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga, some racing game, and then finally the 5th game, something I never heard of. I played a little bit of Pac-Man today, just a few rounds. It's an old-timey Pac-Man. So yeah, I pulled this open, took the batteries out, put new batteries in, plugged it in, it works just fine. So luckily the bag that I pulled out still had the receipt in it, so I know this stuff came from the Goodwill, and I bought it almost exactly a year ago, more than a year ago. I bought this stuff on July 12th of 2024, and it's been in this death pile for a year. So this Namco game, I think I paid like $3, $3.30 for it. $3. Actually, no, I do a little system where I assign cost of goods to items and subtract from the receipt. So this ended up being the last thing I listed. So it got the smallest cost of goods, only 61 cents. I'm calling this. I think it's probably gonna be worth, I don't know, maybe 20, 25. I think I'll list it at 28, 27.99 plus shipping, and see if somebody wants it. Okay, that's one thing. This one, shoot. This is I'm not going to take this out of the box, but it's a vintage toaster. I think it's from the 40s. Manning Bowman. Yeah, I know a lot of people are after vintage toasters. I guess they sell pretty well. There's certain brands that are really sought after, older ones. This one is, like I said, is from the 40s, maybe the early 50s. And it's tough to come up with a price on it because the ones that have sold are not in the box and are not in brand new condition. So some of those have sold for like 20, as low as like $20 or $25. The highest ones maybe 30, but there's none listed or have sold in the last 3 years that are brand new in the box. So I'm just going to take a wild swing at this and say $65 on it. Hopefully that's a good price, and we'll sell it quickly. This is a little box of cards. It's like, these are like religious Christian cards. I think they have Bible quotes on them. It's supposed to be inspirational reflections on how to live a life of gratitude or whatever. It's from 2013. There have been none sold in the last 3 months, and there are about 4 or 5 listed, and they're only like between like $12 and $20. I'm probably going to list this for like $12, maybe 13, see if somebody will buy it. Hopefully somebody will buy it, but it's not a big crowd pleaser. All right, so back a year ago, that's when I was hot on buying curlers sets, hot curlers, hot rollers. And this one is still in the box, never been used. Unfortunately, it's supposed to come with a carrying case, like a travel bag that's missing. So it's not going to be worth as much as I would have liked it to be worth. So I think the ones that are complete with everything are selling for like, I don't know, $50 to $65. This one, unfortunately, doesn't have that. And so I'm just going to try to get like 20, 22, 24. It is brand new. It's never been used. There's the clips that are on there. There's 12 rollers and there's 10 clips. So I don't know if it came that way, if that's intentional. Oh no, right here it says 12 hair clips. So it's missing 2 of those clips. I might lower this price. I'm just going to change it right now to $19.99 and call that good. So hopefully you get $20 for that. I think I paid, I had the receipt, and all these things had price tags on them. So I think I paid kind of a lot for this, like almost $8 for it. So not the best turnaround on that. All right, what's next? I was talking about this camera yesterday. I had ordered batteries. They hadn't come yet. So they came today. I put the batteries in. It powers on and does what you expect it to do, but I'm not going to put film in it to test it. That's a bridge too far, because it would take me forever to test it. And then I got the cost of the film and the cost of the development, and I don't want to add any extra expense to this camera. So I bought it, I think it was like $3, and then I bought the batteries. They were like $7. So I've got like $10.90, something like that, into this camera. And I think it's probably like the most expensive one sold without, without being brand new, sold for $77. I don't think I can get that much for it. I'm going to try to get $55.99. I think I'll get that. All right, up next, this is a watch band. It's to take your, this is from what, 2013, 2010? I thought there was a date on here. I think it's from 2010. So this is back when iPod Nanos were still a thing, and this was a watch band to turn your iPod Nano into a watch. And it says something about multi-touch. So I don't know what they could possibly have built into here, but it turns it into a multi-touch device to do different things on your iPod Nano. I know people are still using those old iPods, so I hope I can sell this. I think there's about 7 to 10 listed, and only like 4 to 5 that sold. But those ones that sold for like $35. I'm not gonna try to get that much for it, because I'm not trying to maximize profits anymore. I'm just trying to move stuff as quickly as I can. So I'm going to put one of the lower prices of the current ones, and I'm going to put it at $25 plus shipping. All right, next I have a game here. This is Loot. It's like a card game, pirate themed card game. It's not a big seller, but I've got it now. I paid something for it at some point. I paid $2 for it a year ago. Looks like I can get $17, $17.99 plus shipping, hopefully. What should we do next? All right, this is a little pair of baby shoes. They're like leather baby shoes. I think they're called walkers or strollers or something like that. They're intended for when a baby first starts walking. So really a toddler, I guess. There's a couple of pairs of these that are black that sold pretty good, like $40, $50. Everything in here, everything I'm looking at has the wrong price. Yeah, so some sold for like 50. These are size 5. Those were size 4.5. I think that's probably pretty much the same thing. These didn't have a price tag on it, so I don't know what I paid for them, but I'm just assigned a $1 price, and I'm going to try to get $28 for them. They have no tags to prove that they're new, but they still have the tissue paper inside. They're still tied together with this thing. I think I'm pretty confident those are new, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get $28 for them pretty quickly. All right, what's next? I've got two Dungeons and Dragons kind of starter. There's a starter set, and then this would be, I guess, like the next step up, the Essentials kit. I always buy these just because I think they're kind of cool, and there's not really much in there. There's only like 5 sheets of paper in here, 2 books, and a set of dice, 6 dice. So it's really easy in the store to pop them open and see if everything is complete. This one, somebody had drawn, they had started filling out the character sheets on some of them. Luckily they did it in pencil, so I just quickly erased it. But I don't know who it was that was playing this game, but they had 3 characters, and as they were describing the characters, they put their name, their height, and then the length in inches of their PP. They wrote on there with 2 letters PP. So I think it was probably some little kids playing this. This one's complete. It doesn't have no writing on it, nothing missing. This one's has a lot more components inside, so I thought it would be more valuable, but it really isn't. This one sells for like $15 to $20. This one was selling for only like $13 maximum. I'm still going to put $20 on it because I think it's complete enough that somebody will pay me that full price for it. If not, I can always lower the price. There was one extra 20-sided die in there, so it's basically a little bonus. I'm going to try to get a little bit of money for it. I'll see if I can get just like $3 or $4 for it plus shipping. So this is going to be easy to ship, easy to store, If somebody buys it for $3, it's going to be simple to throw it in an envelope and send it on its way. I had some vintage Dungeons and Dragons dice, and they were quite valuable, but they were from like 1979. This one I have no way of knowing when it's from. And then finally, this is probably the best thing in here. It's a little handheld free cell game, still in the box, wrapped up from the original package and everything. I don't know what year this would have come out, but let's say 2000. Oh yeah, it has a 2000 date on the bottom. So I think I paid, I paid only $3 for this, $3.30. And these are selling brand new like this for up to like $85, $90. It seems like they're generally selling for like $65, so that's what I'm going to list it at, $65.99, and get it out of here as quickly as I can. It seems like a pretty good sell-through rate on this, so that's going to be good. All right, that's like 14 or 15 items that I pulled out of the closet today. These are all written up as drafts, and they're all ready to just get pictures of and get listed. So they should be popping up in my shop any day now. But for now, I have 5 orders tonight or 4? 5 orders tonight. So we're gonna pack those up and get them ready to go. So stick around. We'll see what those items are. We'll see what kind of price they sold for, and if you stay till the end of the video, I'll tell you exactly how much profit I made on each item and how much profit I made for the entire day. Spoiler alert, it's going to be less than 100, I think, maybe just right around 100. So, yeah, I'm going to do that now. I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed everything that sold today. It's right here. So it's only these 5 items. They're all pretty easy to pack. So this should hopefully be a quick one. Before we get packing, let's add yesterday's sales to the board here. So we had, today's Wednesday, we're talking about Tuesday, we had 6 sales. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tuesday, still doing good. Gonna just keep doing that as long as I can stand it. I'm also tracking now. I'm getting to be a little bit too statistics heavy. I don't have a lot of spare time these days, and when I do have spare time, I don't really want to spend it with spreadsheets, but I am starting a little spreadsheet trying to track things that I've relisted using the regular relist function and things that I've relisted using the sell similar function, and try to just keep an eye on which ones sell faster, which ones sell at all, you know, if doing it one way is better than doing it the other way. So, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons sets, I sold this one today. This one is I don't know what year this is from. The copyright's usually in this little piece of text here, 2022. So this one's not that old, and it's not a quick seller like some of the other ones. So this one I've had for quite a while. I purchased this at the very end of May 2024, so definitely more than a year. It's been on my shelf in there. I only paid $2 for it, but this is a sale item. It's on sale right now, so it only sold for $13.59, and it took a year to get that amount. So I do grab these when I see them. This box is almost exactly the right size, but it doesn't have much room for padding. But I don't feel like this is the sort of thing that needs much padding. This should get wherever it's going safely, I believe. Okay, let's get some tape on here. I've been trying to just put tape on these ends and not worry about these flaps on the smaller boxes I have like this. But this one, I think I'm gonna put tape. It's a little bigger, a little bit flappier. Feels like the possibility for this getting caught up in some sorting machinery or something is pretty high. So let's use this thinner tape, it's easier to get it lined up. This is only, what is this? 1.5 inch tape? I don't know. Standard tape size, 2 inches maybe. Let's find out. I've got a measuring thing right here. Yeah, it's 2 inches. So 2-inch tape is cheaper than 3-inch tape. Probably could just get away with using 2-inch tape on everything, but I like the feel of 3-inch, feels good. D&D, this is gonna be, gotta weigh this. Okay, let me mark off. These are the 6. This is just marking off to let myself know that I already put those 6 items on that tally board over there from yesterday. 1 pound, 10 ounces. Let's put 2 pounds. 13 by 11 by 3. And who's this going to? KB, just in Wisconsin. So should be a pretty inexpensive package, I expect. All right, next. Okay, let's talk about this thing. So this just came back. I sold this once and it just came back. I really don't know exactly what it is. It's a hardness tester of some kind. I don't know how it works, and I don't really know why you would even need to be testing hardness. Oh, it says Ernst on the side here. Anyway, I got this at an estate sale for almost nothing. I think I paid 50 cents for it, less than 50 cents for it, because it was a, you know, here's a whole pile, how much you charge me for it. And I sold it once for $125, and then the guy had it for a little while, 2 or 3 weeks. And then he said, I went to use that thing and the diamond is broken and there's no way to use it without the diamond. So I didn't know there was a diamond. I don't know where the diamond goes. I'm assuming it goes right here in the center of this little thing, and you press that against the metal surface that you're testing. Anyway, he wanted to return it. It sucked because that was a big sale. You know, that's $125 I had to remove from my profits for the month of June, which was, I was feeling good because June sales were pretty high, and then to knock that 125 out was, I mean, it's not an insignificant amount to take out of my profits. Anyway, I decided I'm going to resell it. I'm going to write on here that the diamond is missing. The other guy said the diamond was broken. I just put the diamond is missing because I don't see any evidence of any kind of diamond on there. And I listed it for parts or for repair, with the expectation when I list something like that, that there will not be a return. Like, I don't accept returns on parts and repair items. So I'm pretty sure if you put this might be the only time when you'll never be required to do a return. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think if you put in the condition of your item, you can choose like new or used, or depending on the category, there's a lot of different things you can put. And in some categories you can put for parts or for repair as the item condition. So if you put that, if you choose that as the condition and you put I do not accept returns, then that should be, you should be safe. Like, the buyer should be aware they're buying this thing. They're not going to be able to return it. It's not a working item, and they're buying it because they think they can fix it, or because they have one and they want your parts to fix theirs with. So I'm pretty confident this won't come back again. I hope it won't. I considerably lowered the price down to only $65, and that's basically half of what I sold it for the first time around. So hopefully we won't be hearing from this thing again. And turning 50 cents into $65 is not, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I prefer turning it into 125, but I'll take the 65 and be content. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's gonna stay where it's going this time. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and put a little tape all the way around here. Sometimes I use all these different kinds of tape because, you know, the different tapes are cheaper. Trying to be as frugal as I can with my packing material, so I'm just using this regular Scotch tape to tape this bubble wrap down. This box just came today. It had batteries in it, the batteries that I tested that camera with. So I'm just gonna include those batteries with that camera and sell it saying brand new batteries included. And then when I come up with another camera that needs batteries, the same batteries, I'll just have to buy them again. So because this box right here had batteries in it, it doesn't really seal all the way. That's surprising. Because that had batteries in it, it currently has a hazardous materials shipping label on it. I'm gonna try to cover that up because I think that has the potential to slow your shipping down, the hazardous label. Basically all my packages are going ground advantage these days, which is, as the name suggests, it's a ground shipping method, and it's not going on an airplane. So I think that's the main thing with the hazardous labels, hazardous materials labels, is that they want you to put those on there so they know, don't put it in an airplane. This is something that could explode and cause a problem in an airplane. Less likely to cause a problem in a semi on the highway. So I don't know that it's going to slow things down, but it could. So I'm just going to take the second to cover this, and shouldn't be a problem. Let's go ahead and use the side tester. It's pretty heavy. I mean, this is nice quality machine in a nice box and everything, wooden box. 9 by 7 by 6. So cool little device. It looks cool, and it feels like a quality piece of machinery. I think there's only been one of these sold in a year, or I mean in 3 years. So I wasn't really very surprised that it sold right away again. This is going to Colorado to BP. Troy. I don't know. Maybe that BP reminds me of BP gas station and the BP oil spill, and I still have bad feelings about that oil spill. So I try my best to not buy gas from BP, but there's not that many gas stations close to me. So sometimes I do buy gas there, and I'm sure none of these other gas companies are better ethically or environmentally. Just go in there. Go in there, dude. What is happening? This flap will not go in this slot. Come on. There it goes. I don't know why that was so tough. This book was just listed today. This is one of, I don't even know if I showed you these, but I picked up, was it Sunday? I went to Unique and I bought several religious books, Bibles and other religious books. This one is called Practical Meditations for Every Day of the Year. I don't know what the date is. It Angelus Press. So I think it only got listed today or yesterday, and I sent a 10% off offer on it anyway. But the person who bought it sent me a message saying thank you for the generous offer, but then they paid full price for it anyway. So I'm not sure why they did that, but I paid $2.92 for it, and I sold it for $26.99. And I bought it on the 20th. What's today? 23rd. So it took 3 days to sell to make $20. Well, no, more than that. We'll probably make $22 on this, 21 or 22 after fees and everything. So yeah, stick around to the end. I always go over after I buy the shipping labels for these packages, I'll go over the proceeds and tell you exactly how much money I made on each of these items. Some things are good and some things are not so good, but it's very rare to lose money for me. So it's like if I make $6 or $8 on something, it might feel like it's not worth it, but sometimes it is. All right, practical. Let's write pract. 1 pound 7, 10 by 7 by 3. Sometimes it's worth it to, you sell something, you're only going to make $6 on it, but it's something that you only paid $1 for or less than $1. It doesn't take up much space. It's very easy to pack. This is going to AB in California. It feels like my shipping, my orders that go to California have slowed. Like I used to feel like 50% of everything I was shipping was going to California, and then the rest of that was divided up by like New York, Florida, and Texas. I guess probably the most populous states. But it seems like California buyers have stopped buying from me, and I think it might be because of the new USPS shipping rates that went up last weekend. And I have noticed stuff going to California is much more expensive than things going to Michigan or whatever. Like it always was more expensive to go to California, but now it feels like incrementally or exponentially more expensive. I know the variables that determine the cost of shipping are the size, the weight, and the distance it's going. And I think that their new rates might put more emphasis on the distance because these California shipments are expensive. This person, let's see, for that Bible. Okay, it's medium mail, so it's going to be a little bit complicated because medium mail doesn't work the same way. But so yeah, I charge them also a flat rate shipping, so I can't tell you how much. I was going to tell you how much the shipping. Well, I'll tell you later how much the shipping cost. It's probably going to be more than the $5.10 that I charged the buyer. That's my guess anyway. I think it's going to be $6.50. All right, I wrapped this up already. It's a guitar pedal Boss chorus ensemble. I might not be making much profit on this, or really maybe not any, but it's misleading because I bought a whole pedal board from a guy, and it's maybe 10 or 12 pedals I bought from one guy, and I wanted them for myself. guitar pedals. I'm not really much of a guitarist. I don't play with anybody. I barely ever practice. And I shouldn't be spending any money on guitar stuff, but I bought these from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. It was a pretty good deal for the board, all of the cables to plug it in, and all of these pedals. And some of them I wanted to just fool around with. So I used most of his pedals, added them to my board, and then the ones that I didn't want, like I'm not a fan of this chorus sound, so I didn't want this pedal. So I had maybe 3 or 4 others that I didn't want. I just divided up the cost that I spent for all those pedals to the cost of goods for the pedals I was going to sell. So I put like a $30 cost of goods on this. I probably paid that guy $90 for his board. I don't really remember. It's quite a long time ago. It was March of 2024, so more than a year ago. I don't remember what I paid him, but I know that I put $41.33 as the cost of goods on this. I forgot how much this weighs already. One pound even. And I sold this for $71.99, and it has a $41 cost of goods. So maybe we will make a little money, $26 or something on this. But that's not much to make on something that was $71. So this isn't really going to go a long way towards helping our daily average go up. But it's gone out of here. I'm surprised it took that long to sell. These are popular pedals. Maybe I had it slightly overpriced. Okay, this is going to Pennsylvania. And then are we on to the last item? Yeah, we are. Okay. This is a cheapie, $8.99. It's a cast iron cricket. Has these movable legs. I bought this from a yard sale last summer. Well, I guess last fall, September. I bought this one, and I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 other little cast iron characters, like a spider and some other things. The spider sold right away, probably because we were heading into Halloween season. And then this one's been sitting here for quite a while, quite close to a year now. But I only had it listed for $9.99. I sent the 10% offer out on it today, so I sold it for $8.99 plus shipping. So not a big profit item. What did I pay for it? No, I have nothing as the cost of goods, so I must have assigned that cost of goods to something else. I probably paid 50 cents for this at that yard sale. That was a good yard sale. It was like a community sale, and I got there early. I didn't realize. I didn't even know I was going to it. I just saw some signs and pulled over, and I was driving around. I was like, "There's no sales here. What's going on?" And I finally found this one, and the lady told me that she set up an hour early. Everybody else would be setting up a little bit later. So I did buy quite a few things from her. She's very nice, and I probably haven't sold everything that I got from her, but some of it for sure, including this dumb little cricket that was $9. So cricket, 14 ounces, 6 by 5 by 5, and who's it going to? I think she put a little buyer's note here, and I think she thinks I'm putting this inside the package. Do I want to reopen this and put her note in? I guess I will. She must be sending this to a friend or a relative or somebody. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and write it in here. Marge, think just a little creature to serenade you to sleep tonight. Love, Judy. So I'm going to pop this box back open and stick this in there. This is a waste of time, but whatever. It's a little nice thing to do. This this marker is probably still sticky. I'm going to fold it in half. No, I'm not. I'm just going to open it more. So I'm going to waste a little tape here, but whatever. Hopefully Marge and Judy will appreciate it. Typically people put a note there to tell you, most people don't put anything there, but sometimes if they put a note, it's like, please put this in a box, not in an envelope or something like that, which you really should do that kind of messaging prior to buying. But I got another one today on this whatever you call it, this Bible thing. And it says, "Thank you so much for your generous offer. This is the person who paid full price. It's greatly appreciated. May God bless you abundantly from so-and-so." So I guess that's nice. Just being thankful, but like I said, she paid full price anyway. All right, I'm gonna buy all the labels, get them all stuck on here, and then come right back and we'll talk about profits. Okay, everybody has labels and we're all ready to go. So let's find out how we did. While I was waiting for labels to print, I went ahead and requested a porch pickup from my carrier. I do that pretty much every day. Today, I woke up this morning and wasn't feeling that great. I called in sick to work and then went right back to bed. And I forgot to put my packages out. So I got a message about 11 that my carrier had come and left, and I had to go to the post office and take those packages in person, which I haven't done in quite a while. So it is probably a good idea to make an appearance once in a while. Okay, let's go through these items. All right, that metal hardness tester that sold twice, sold it for $65 after fees and everything. We're looking at $57.35 profit. For the Dungeons and Dragons starter kit, $9.68 profit. The Practical Meditations religious book, $18.82. The guitar pedal, I sold it for $71, but like I said, it had a $41 cost of goods. So in the end, I only made $26.62. And then finally, that cast iron cricket, a little small guy, only earned $6.27. So right now, we are at, this doesn't seem right. I guess it's right. We're at $118 profit for today. I thought it was going to be under 100. Let me do some checking here. Insert function sum. Yeah, 118.74. Okay, I guess that's what it is. It's relatively early, 9 o'clock. There is, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. There's 5 more hours in the day, in what eBay considers the day. So we might get another sale or two. I feel like we might. The last couple of nights, Tuesday night and Monday night and Sunday night, we got orders that came in late, after midnight, and big ones too. So let's see, Sunday around midnight, I sold a copy of the first edition of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, first American edition, for $125. So that boosted that day's sales up quite a bit. And then Monday night, I sold a Pyrex bowl after I had finished my video, and that wasn't a big sale, but $21 came in after hours. So that boosted that day's sales up. And then last night, I sold a really pretty good sale. Like, I have this tripod head, like, you put your camera on, put it on a tripod. This was a professional quality one, Manfrotto 229. I bought it for $30 and I sold it for $220. So that happened last night after hours. And that really gave yesterday's profits a big boost, all the way up from, let's see, insert function. I can't remember what I ended the video with last night. Only $95, and then profit by the end of the day, $257. So that boosted my daily average for this month up quite a bit. It's all the way up to 107 right now. I need it to be 170 in order to reach my goals for the year. I need $170 a day every day for the rest of the year, at least. Well, on average. So hopefully we will keep getting sales. If I can get another 2 sales tonight, that would be great. But right now the average per day is 107, 24, 23, and then the average profit per sale per each individual item for this month is $26.12. So I like both of those numbers to go up. I'm always looking for better inventory, so hopefully we can get some stuff that's worth more and sell it for more and create a better chance of reaching the goal of making $50,000 this year. Profit, total profit. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. I'd love it if you subscribed. It really helps my channel out if you leave comments. I really can see the difference from a video that has no comments on it and one that has comments. The views skyrocket just having 1 or 2 comments on there. So got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Like, all the stuff that people tell you to do. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. These are the things that are going to really help my channel out. So thank you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow night.